Oh, I am so sorry. I got in the middle of doing some things because I was out today at the Southern Festival of Books up in Nashville over on the War Memorial. At War Memorial, the plaza. Got to meet up with some really nice people and learn some things that I didn't know or know how, know about and everything. Didn't really sell any books, unfortunately. It is what it is. But I did learn some things, so I guess that's a good thing. I guess it's a good thing. Not really sure, but I hope everybody's doing well and taking care of yourselves this weekend. As I said, I am completely sorry. I was looking at into trying to do websites because I got some people who signed up for a newsletter, so I'm trying to figure out how to do a newsletter. One of the things I went through asking for a website, so I don't have a website, so because the website I had couldn't afford it, so it is what it is. But we are going to try to finish this book, which we don't have much to go, but we're going to try and finish this tonight. So next weekend we will start on a different book and go from there. So now we are getting into the end of this right here, and there's just a couple of short poems here. It was basically for the word prompts, as I said. On. Sun shall shine, even on those who've fallen into addiction of her kiss and for the taste of poison. The next poem. So long, sunshine, is a warm time when the sun shall shine on my face after being here alone for so long. So these two poems were basically the sun shall shine. The sun shall shine. But those are the word prompts I was supposed to use for these two poems. I started doing more word prompts, but meeting meeting what they needed for the word count. But I started to go further on and doing the word count to where I can actually, when I publish something. So the poem's longer. I just started doing that in my last book when it came out in June. This one here is called Unlock. And it basically talks about different things. Education being one of them, teaching and learning and being able to hone that towards children. I hope that's what it is. Unlock. Imagination is a key. It can unlock so many doors. When applied to the challenges of life, children know this and grow their imagination on the playground. There, these dreams and fantasies teaches them to be brave, charismatic, and never waver in their choices. Before life robs them of those beliefs, because life is the unstoppable force that anyone, no matter where they come from, while others may not deal with the same obstacles, however, life doesn't pick winners or losers. We must find a way to help children reach their dreams, find a way for them to progress from one phase of life to the next. They can't do this alone and need our guidance along the winding road of life and all the struggles. Teach them. They have the choice to fight and rise above things that hinder them from being who they dream to be. The power of the mind can unlock any mystery once they know they possess the keys to unlock those keys. Education plays a huge part in those steps in learning to bridge the gaps in their understanding of some world's greatest mysteries and all that lies in their imagination. Because again, it is, basically just, talks about growing a child's imagination, helping them to learn more, and going through the process of seeing how to do things because they had that. They need to be encouraged and had those encouragements to tell them that they are worthy, they can achieve their dreams and what they want to do in their life or what they want to be, and we can't rob them of that. We have to support them in everything they want to do, even if we don't even feel that that's worthy of them. This poem it piggybacks onto that one about the imagination and helping children. This is called Reach. Reach and how they understand the meaning of unconditional love. It knows bounds and how a child's love for their parents or siblings, even when things seem strained between them for the years, while they try to figure out who they are as individuals. But a child needs love. They need family. Sometimes it's not the norm of a nuclear family, of a cookie cutter center. It's being raised by a single parent or living between houses of a divided parent, siblings, stepping into the role of a parent or taking on the responsibility of uncles and aunts and grandparents for the greater good of a child. This is about them raising the next generation, helping them to break the code, breaking generational curses, and helping their family progress further along in life. Even when they have fallen too far to reach the top, children need support like a plant needs good soil, water, and food to nourish and grow. Children need the same things, a solid foundation to build upon. Parents offer those foundations and principles to help a child succeed. Now, there are so many different things that, supersede things because there are a lot of, single parents in this world. There are a lot of either, things didn't work out and they ended up in divorce, or there really wasn't a parent wasn't there, or, grandparents are stepping in, or aunts and uncles are stepping into that. And just like, it is a different situation, but still a child needs that support. So we now, take into another, this is a love poem. Lost in you, enchanted by your kiss, which I had so long a desire to taste. It was magic. It was bliss, being lost in the blue iris and its euphoria, being enchanted by your body, seeing your curves dancing in the moonlight. The way you moved, I was mesmerized, to say the least, being lost by the spell. And it has left me unhinged from just feeling you, lying in my arms. We drift away on a carpet of stardust, in for euphoria. And again, dealing with it, stardust and elements and things. So, this one's called We. There was a time where being close to you was heaven, and feeling the touch of your hand with your fingers laced between mine. The overspilling of emotions I felt for you in those moments. Emotions I felt for you in those moments was overwhelming. I fought so hard to hold back, from kissing your skin and dying from the want of breathing your breath when we kissed. Just knowing what the taste of your lips was like, because I could not fathom the ecstasy of the feeling. And that comes from wanting to kiss a woman that I had a long-standing crush on. And it was so difficult being around her. Awakening. I spend all my days lingering to life, waiting for you, and long for your kiss, long to feel your form, as we make love forever. Always waiting, wasting away time, waiting for you, waiting for her, waiting for something more than just a memory of your kiss while awake. Basically, waiting to find somebody. Waiting for, you can't really say, you're waiting on the one. You're waiting on someone, basically. You're waiting on someone who will, at least be a companion in your life, and that's what I've been doing. So, you can't really find anybody here. So, this next poem, I will not read to you, because it is an erotic poem, and This was the one that actually made the mistake of getting in here. I ended up putting this over in Words Beneath Your Skin, the erotica book, and it's called Taste. So you will not be seeing that or hear me reading it. Well, you actually will if you've seen the video from the thing. But we move on to one called Cross My Lips, which is basically talking about being in a past relationship and the after effects. Cross my lips. Will you remember me? Will you? After we'd taken our last kiss, one last meeting where our bodies slowly cringed to each other because our souls knew that we couldn't remain like this way. Searching for words that seemed to die the moment they left my tongue and crossed my lips only to turn to dust because they weren't meant to be spoken, so they fell upon deaf ears. Those same ears I whispered I love you in so many times where it became second nature. And this is about, basically loving somebody and then you're just falling out of love. And it doesn't matter how many times you tell them that you're going to change or you do the things to change. And you tell them you love you, or you love them. But they ignore you because it don't matter anymore. This one's called Giving Off. All the wonder you possess deep inside of you, every spark your embers give off. You have to burn to shine brighter so the light can be seen by those you seek your flame. The ones who wander along in the darkness waiting to see the light in the distance to guide them. And it's basically talking about being a light, shining your light to those who are needing to see your light. Needing to see your because they miss you and they want to see you because to you you're encouraging to them when they see you. And I've had a lot of people tell me that in my life, or being around, and it's like, I'm glad you're here because seeing you here makes me want to do more, to be more, or not be more, but to enjoy being here because you're here, kind of thing. Wasting. How bright must I have to shine in order to bring you closer to me? You have to burn to shine just as much, but I am dying and my flame is wasting away as the wick burns, leaving only ash, missing with tears as I struggle to hold on to the floundering hope of calling your name and knowing what your face looks like. And again, it comes down to wanting someone, and you wonder what I always wonder about that. Wonder what the person I'm supposed to meet and fall in love with. If it's like destiny kind of thing. You never know who people are destined to be with or whatever, because you never really know. I don't know, but I wonder and try to not to dwell on things. Unfortunately, it happens that way. This was a word prompt, and it was called Lonely Road. Night. Wandering along a dusty road is a common theme in my life these days, where people fall away. One way or another, a lonely road and dirty. The days just blend into another. As I wander this road, cars pass me by out of fear of a stranger on the roadside. I just keep walking, heading for somewhere I've never been. When a car stops to pick up a wandering soul, a lady dressed in white, sensual being, and a thief of souls. So basically, it's talking about the reverse of. It's about the reverse of meeting a lady in white. When you're driving along, some lonely road, and you end up seeing a woman in white. Usually to be a ghost or some kind of demon and stuff. It's like if you watch Supernatural, you definitely want to know. Okay. 3 more pages. This one's called Hoppy. 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 Leaves change, flowers wither, and cast away, cleaning out and moving on. Moving day came as I packed up her belongings, all of her trophies. Some of her animals, not many, Mr. Hoppy was going. My little girl is heading up to college. She was quiet when she was around me, but a little chatterbox when her mom was around. I guess she knew my little girl grew up. I still see her playing dress up, hosting tea parties, dancing in the rain, so much like her mother. But she is mine too. And this is about, you know, being a dad and watching your daughter go off to college. And, you know, and the changes that when she's starting her life now, or moving out into her own, to live on her own. So, I mean, I really could not have much of a connection with that, but, it is that. This is about the person that I had that off and on again relationship. Moth and the Flame. I blocked your number. Not from the words you said, or the pictures you sent. It's due to the dance we shared, the memories of you being wrapped up in my arms was a moth and a flame for me. And these basically all blend into one about that. Amber connection. Her eyes, those amber lights burning of desire and freedom. Those eyes, I find myself getting lost when we connect. And there's a lot of times when I did when we were together. Sleep. Covered eyes. From the lies she's been told about her beauty and different suitors. With blind faith she walks towards them all. It's all a dream. She relates to herself and another failure. Wounds her heart leave the party with suitors and boys. Look for the mark, she cried to herself, hiding the tears behind ropes, which blinded her to her mistakes. Not again, she made a silent vow to herself. No more. As she played with roses, someone left in the cab, plucking the heated petals, strapped for her, and the strap of her dress falls from her shoulder. As she glances at her reflection in the glass-tinted dark, everything is lost, and she just wants to go home, where she could find comfort at the bottom of some cocoa snug under a blanket as she cries herself to sleep. And this was me thinking about her and the different things that she had been done to get to the point where she was at. And this will be the last one about her. Inferno. She blazes when she struts as she walks. The fire of her hair dances magically in the sunlight. Little embers of sparks reflect in the summer sun. I remember her and how her eyes were flames that burned when she drew me into her grasp. She burned me alive with her passion. And when I say I felt the heat rolling off her naked, unquenched surrender, I would be amiss by the level of desire she felt for me as we kissed, as I conversed into nothing but ash left on her lips. It's basically as it is, that time we kissed. The last time we kissed. Sparking. The sparks of words can burn bridges faster than they can be put out. So watch and be mindful of how you plan to set things alight with your words. And it's so easy to say something stupid and end up burning bridges. Very easy. And we are at the last page. And this one's called Free. Free in telling your story with words and syllables. And how much you want to connect with the world and help them to understand they've lost something that is precious. It was a gift, actually. And so many people waste it ignoring. And they lost the magic of falling in love and being in love, dying in love. And it is a shame that the beggar like me has to explain something to remind others about the gift they squander by letting bitterness and hurt of the past destroy their love for others and for themselves. This is what it's like when you're free to love, but you don't want to feel again. And that's why it's the death of a gentleman. Because you don't want to love again. So if you enjoyed this book, please log in Amazon.com and leave a review for your author. Stay and purchase his other works. If you bought the book directly from the author, please return to his website and leave a review and comment. Thank you for buying this book. And please, if I have done you any delight being here and seeing this, say hello. Leave a comment, leave a review, leave something, and visit my friend Jenna Jink Portraits on her Facebook page. Yin and Yang Energy, Yin and Yang Energex for the Reiki, and a couple other places. Check out Solo Dolo, Dwight Kirk, and his page. And please check out Cast It Into the Fire by Sarah Aikenhead and Bill Roland Miller. Definitely check out their stuff over here on Facebook. You have a good night, and we will, when we come back next Sunday, I will be reading from Drowning in the Iris of a Woman. Until then, y'all have a good night.